Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be discussing inverse fair value gaps. We're going to be talking about what they are and how you can use them in your trading. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jake. I make videos about ICT concepts and market recaps every single day. So if you like the content, definitely consider leaving a like and subscribing. And let's talk about inverse fair value gaps. So the inverse fair value gap model is the model that I actually use. I learned it from Dodgy himself. This would not be an inverse fair value gap video without mentioning Dodgy. He created the inverse fair value gap model, and it's amazing. It is an incredibly high win rate, over 80% win rate, and when used correctly, is incredibly powerful. So let's jump into what an inverse fair value gap is. Now, first, we need to talk about a regular fair value gap, which I discussed in my video from a few days ago. But a fair value gap is when you have a gap between the previous candle body's low and the following candle body's high, and you have this area in between with just this candle body. So, an inversion. An inversion is simply put in simple terms. An inversion is when a fair value gap gets disrespected, and you can literally just think about it as a candle body close through the old fair value gap. Now, it's important to note that if this was a wick, this would not be an inverse fair value gap. It needs to have a candle body close above the previous fair value gap. Same thing if this was a bear or a bullish fair value gap and it was inversing to the downside, it would need to close below the old fair value gap. And you can see you would target these highs over here, and boom. Your entry is on the candle body close that of the candle that inverses the fair value gap. So once again, an inverse fair value gap is simply when a fair value gap gets disrespected. Now, we're going to go through some examples, and we're going to talk about what is a good inverse fair value gap setup, what's not a good inverse fair value gap setup, and how you can actually use this to trade, because there is an actual model that is created. Dodgy created it, and it is excellent. So if you want to learn more about the inverse fair value gap model, definitely check out Dodgy's YouTube channel. Full credit goes to him. Also, full credit to this PDF goes to T-Trades. I'm using it because it has very nice visuals, and it's very helpful when I am talking about these concepts to have some visuals to go along with it. But let's talk about what makes a good inverse fair value gap setup. So, okay, I'm back. So there are a few more things to know about inverse fair value gaps. The first, which I've already talked about, is you enter on the candle body close above the old fair value gap. And if it's a bearish trade, you obviously would enter when the candle body closes below the old fair value gap. You put your stop loss a little ways below the fair value gap, and you target the clear high or low that is being targeted. Usually you want to see some kind of trend line liquidity. This is called low resistance liquidity. And you want to see sometimes you want to see equal highs, which are a very clear target. You want to see just something that stands out. In this case, this high would have been your clear target, and boom, straight to your take profit. You want to have it sweep some kind of liquidity. So in this case, it swept these lows and this low, and then inverse back to the upside. But a lot of the time you want to see it come down, and let's say that this was the old low. You want to see it come down, sweep this low, and then close above. Another thing to note is a lot of the time you want to see some kind of higher time frame key level that it sweeps into. So here's an example. Let's say you have a 15-minute fair value gap, and you have price like this. You want to see a sweep into this higher time frame key levels. This could be a fair value gap, an order block, whatever. But you want to see it sweep into this higher time frame key level and then inverse back to the upside. And when this happens, this is an incredibly high probability trade. You want to clear draw on liquidity. So let's say that these were equal highs, right? You would target these equal highs. So, but yeah, equal highs are a super good target. Do not long if there's equal highs below, and don't short if there's equal highs above. But I think this about covers it for inverse fair value gaps. Remember, it's when a fair value gap gets disrespected, you enter on the candle body's close. And if you want more information on the model, definitely check out Dodgy's YouTube channel. He has plenty of videos about it, and you can learn all about it. That's where I learned inverse fair value gaps from. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.